morning. And today I forgot to turn on the light. So we're going to fix that. Not just did I forget to turn on my light, but today is chest day and it's going to be an awesome one. I know that. I also have an audition to record later, which my friend Zavi is going to help me out with. And also, hopefully they still have it in stock, going to GameStop and grabbing a copy of Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Can't wait to finally have that. That's going to be so cool. But if my hair wants to be on my side for a little bit, we can get this day started. I'm probably actually going to just grab a pre-workout from the store on my way to, because I want to go to GameStop, grab Claire Obscure, then go to the gym. And I'm probably just going to grab you know what, do I have any shaker bottles that aren't messy? I have to double check that. But get to GameStop, grab the game, go to the gym, 20 minutes of cardio, chest, back here, meet Zavi, record the audition, and be on the bounce. Because it's going to be a good day, even though it is raining outside. I almost called out yesterday because of how nice it was, and I knew it was going to be rainy these next couple days. Either way, we got work to do, so I'll catch you guys in a little bit.
And it is chest day, and you want to know a funny story? You'll see me doing a decline press later, and it's not because I wanted to. It is because when I set it up for an incline press, I was dumb, didn't double check the lock. It wasn't locked completely, and the bench wound up falling, and I got stuck in the decline. Thankfully, I did not drop the weights on my face. But anyway, what was something I wanted to talk about today? Well, I wanted to talk about metalcore music, because it's one of my all-time favorite genres. And I know, if you talk to metal puritans, they're going to say that metalcore is not true metal. But you know what? I don't care. Metal is in the name. It counts. Similarly to how I say that Venom is indeed a black metal band. Now, I don't know which opinion is going to be the one that gets me yelled at most by metal purists. Me saying that Venom is a black metal band, or me saying that metalcore is a true metal genre. But we'll have a laugh about it later. As you can see on my shirt, I am wearing a Bullet for My Valentine shirt, and that is because Bullet for My Valentine is my favorite metalcore band. I think they have the most albums that have some of the most consistent no-skip tracks on them. Their first album, spectacular. 10 out of 10, no skips, period. Then Scream, Aim, and Fire, similar thing. It's debatable which one is actually better, but I think I am more nostalgic for The Poison. But again, that's up for debate completely. Venom was also really good too. I genuinely think it's almost as good as their first two albums. Not as good, but it's almost there. I think their only truly weak albums were Temper, and the one with, Gravity. I forgot that's what it was called. That's what I mean. It's just, that one was just kind of forgettable. And thankfully, their self-titled was also a really good album. It was going back to their more original sound, and it wasn't as good as The Poison or Venom or Scream, Aim, and Fire. But it's still very solid. I listened to it a lot when I was at the gym. Like I said, I think their weakest might be Temper. That one just felt a little too safe. At least with Gravity, they were trying something new. Temper just felt a little too safe for me. It's not bad, but still not their best. Again, great band. We are driving back to GameStop now, as they were closed when I got there earlier this morning. They should be open now, hopefully, and double hopefully they do indeed have a copy of Claire Obscure Expedition 33, because I really want to play it, or at least have it on hand so that way when I'm done with all the other games I am trying to finish, we will be squared away to enjoy one of the best RPGs of all time. Please have it, 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 please have it. And they didn't have it, but that's okay. It's mildly disappointing, but I got enough games to beat anyway. I think that's just God letting me know, hey, take care, clean up your backlog, and then the game will probably be officially in your hands by the time you're ready. So, no big deal. I was hoping to use my $5 coupon on it, but it is what it is. Anyways, I gotta get back to the apartment, record that audition, and then, I don't know. We'll see what happens for the rest of the day. It's not too glorious outside, so I don't plan on going to the woods or the trees or anything like that. But I might try to do something. We'll see. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. So my audition is finally done, and I even had my protein snack. Powdered peanut butter with protein powder and some almond milk. Very tasty. But what is the plan for the rest of the day? I am not entirely sure yet. I think I'm gonna make a cup of coffee, relax a little bit, sip on that, get a little bit more energized, and then once I have a more grounding understanding of what I want to do, I'll go out and do something. It's Discount Tuesday night at the cinema, so I might go see a movie. What movie, I'm not sure yet. But I'll figure something out, or I'll just chill at home all day today. We'll see. Anyways, I know tomorrow I have my online acting class because I can finally make that. So I'm excited about that, and I am definitely excited about making supper later tonight. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. Peace again. So I am indeed going into the movies, yes, on this gloriously sunny day out. Now the theater isn't that far away, so I'm not too concerned about the weather. But I decided I'm going to see that movie, Fight or Flight. It looks like a lot of fun. I heard it's like a violent live-action cartoon, and that's definitely my thing. I think it's from the producers of the John Wick movies, and the John Wick films are some of my favorite films, period. So I have high hopes for it. I'm also looking forward to Nobody 2. I don't know, did that get a trailer yet? If it did, I haven't seen anything. But I am excited for that if that ever finally gets made. I think it's in pre-production, or at least in production now. But Fight or Flight hopefully will give me my taste of fun action that I need, not like a comic book movie action or war movie action where that's much more depressing, because I was going to see Warfare, but I want something more fun on this rainy day. So, gonna go see Fight or Flight. Hopefully Josh is gonna make a big comeback to acting, because he's a great actor. I think he's very underrated. And I am excited to see it. Like I said, I heard it's like a violent live-action cartoon, and that is awesome. It's something I definitely need right now to lighten my mood and get through these days coming up. Hopefully I love it enough to say, you know what, I'm going to pre-order that Blu-ray as soon as I'm out of the cinema. Because if it does do that, then I can confirm that this is a movie that is going to go down in history as one of the most awesome action movies ever made. And like I said, violent live-action cartoons are absolutely my thing. Just got out of Fight or Flight, and I wish I would have went didn't go to the gym early this morning because my adrenaline right now is through the roof. Don't worry, it's just my car telling me my washer fluid is low, and it's raining out, so my windows are automatically clean. That movie was awesome. It takes a little bit to get started, but once things start going, it is that live action, overly violent cartoon that I was hoping it would be. This movie was awesome. Definitely worth seeing. I saw it at a discounted price, but it's worth seeing at full price too. I definitely highly recommend it. Like I said, takes a little bit to get going, but once the rails come off, it's just full send bonkers, and I loved every second of it. Because I was concerned, like, it's a plane, so how much room do you have for a lot of action? And they managed it, my friends. They really did. That was an awesome movie. Definitely check it out if you get the chance to. Definitely gonna get the Blu-ray whenever that comes out. This is like the fall guy of this year so far. There's gonna be some cool action movies coming out this year. There's also the Ballerina movie, which I'm excited for. Like I said, I'm not sure if Nobody 2 is coming out this year or next year, but I am definitely excited for that. Fight or Flight, definitely check it out. And you want to know something funny? I actually had a dream about watching this movie. I didn't know what it was about. I only saw the poster for it. I never saw any trailers. And I had a dream about watching it, and my brain processed it as a horror movie. I don't know why, but this is definitely not a horror movie. It's definitely a great action comedy. Now, the reason I like the John Wick movies a lot is they are just action. They're not action comedies. And we seem to be getting a lot of, in the most recent trend, is more violently lighthearted action films. And which is fine, because those are really fun to watch. Like Fall Guy was like that. Bullet Train was like that. But I would like to see a straight up harsh action movie. It doesn't have to be like that Sabotage movie where it just feels kind of cruel, but one that's more playing everything very straight. But like I said, I'm not against action comedies. Action and comedy go well together, especially when it wants to play like a cartoon. Definitely check it out. I loved this film. I probably might even see it again. Maybe. I don't really see movies in theaters more than once. I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 3 times in the cinema, and I saw Godzilla -1 4 times. So there are exceptions to that rule, but definitely check it out. If you can get to a discount Tuesday, definitely see it then. There's no excuse. I mean, obviously, if you don't have the time, there's the excuse. But see it at full price, discount Tuesday, matinee, IMAX, whatever you need to do, definitely check it out. It was a lot of fun. I also have to go home and make dinner now. So, or maybe I might go to the store first because I want to get some anchovies and some kombucha. So let's do that. So guys, I am officially home from the grocery store. And one thing I wanted to point out that's in this cabinet here, these hot sauces are some of the best sauces I've ever used. I love them. They cost a little bit of money, but they are worth it. Very tasty, quality sriracha, very tasty, but a little too spicy, so I have to use it sparingly. This has a good balance, even though I wish it had some of the garlic that this one had. Still, they're all spectacular and worth the money. It was a random recommendation. That was the first one I got. I loved it, so I got that one then. Then I saw this one. I didn't know what I still don't know what a truffle actually is. I still haven't looked it up. But if it tastes anything like this, it's delicious. And this one here is really good. Still in the experimental phase as I just got it. Probably gonna add it to my supper tonight, and we can give it a final review. From Granny Maid to Titan, yes sir, I've been around. There ain't no place in all of space like this on Sodding Town. Yep, we are doing a wrap-up video in the living room again, because why not? As you can see, I'm getting excited for the new Doom game, Doom the Dark Ages, as it is technically a backlog game, so I get to play it. That's my loophole. Don't tell anyone. But anyway, I did have a lot of fun today. Even though there wasn't unlimited events, like, going to the woods, starting a little fire at a little campground, or even just being able to go out and chill with a bunch of friends or what have you. I still did have a pretty decent amount of fun. The chest workout was great. The cardio at the beginning was good. Seeing that movie. Now I know what you're asking. I already know what you're going to ask me. I already know what you're going to ask. It's okay, because I get asked this question all the time. It's a perfectly reasonable question to ask. Dolby, you man who knows absolute cinema, is Fight or Flight better than Poultrygeist? That's a good question. Because Poultrygeist is cinema in its purest form. Truly. So, this would have to take an academic essay to fully understand, because of how spectacular Poultrygeist actually is. But Fight or Flight is pretty darn good. Anyway, so what were some things I was thinking about today? A lot of, well, how much I loved action movies. And kind of what I said in my car. We're seeing a lot of action movies making a comeback, but a lot of them are action comedies. Every now and again, a more traditional action movie will sneak in. We had Silent Night a couple of years ago, which was okay. I'm a huge John Woo fan. He's one of my favorite directors. The Killer by John Woo, the original one, I haven't seen the remake yet, is one of the best movies, period. Also Hard Boiled, Last Hurrah for Chivalry, Face Off, Hard Target, all of them great movies. I even love Mission Impossible 2, but that comes from me being a huge John Woo fan. And that's the one thing I'm also excited for, is the new Mission Impossible movie, because again, it's just more of a traditional action movie. It's not an action comedy, and that's why Top Gun Maverick was also awesome. It was an action movie. And of course, like I said, action comedies are awesome, because action and comedy go well together, because you can make really fun action scenes where the fights are kind of like over the top, but they're still well choreographed. It's something like when I say if a musical is done really well, the musical segments are almost as if you're watching an action scene. Now, obviously, they're not actually action scenes, but they feel that way. Like they have that type of momentum, if you catch my drift. And if you want some good traditional action films, you gotta hit up Asian cinema. Specifically, South Korea and Hong Kong. They're still producing some good stuff. South Korea made a movie called The Killer, no relation to John Woo's The Killer. And it's basically their version of John Wick. Because after John Wick came out, that really basically started its own subgenre of retired, hitman, assassin, or what have you, being forced out of retirement. Of course, that was already a thing, but John Wick very much brought that back, made it popular again, for good reason, because it was an awesome movie. The first time I saw John Wick, I said, John Woo is proud. I don't know if John Woo's ever seen John Wick, but if he hasn't, he would love it. At least I hope so, because I loved it. By the way, my favorite John Wick movie is the first one. It's because it's the simplicity of it. It's such a smaller story that there's something about like the smaller scale film that I just appreciate more. Obviously, movies with big action set pieces, grand cinema, I love it. John Wick 4 is bonkers, and I loved every second of it. But the smaller movie is also my thing. And there's also kind of an underrated underground action market. Not so much underground as in like their movies that are shot on someone's home video camera. I mean, they were direct to video or direct to streaming. Michael Jai White is in a few of them. If you look up his filmography, he definitely has some direct to video action films, and people would think direct to video, therefore, but
that's not always true. You can get some really good hidden gems in there. And some of them I think they probably would have done at least decently well in cinema. I mean, he had this one movie, I think it was called Falcon, no relation to the Falcon from Avengers. I think it's called Falcon. And it is really well made. The action scenes are really well made. And but it is a lesson in because I remember a lot of people saying, like, if John Wick didn't come out when it did, it would have just been seen as another forgettable 80s or 90s action film. And I say that's not true, because there's a world in John Wick that you're exploring. There's great action scenes in there, obviously, but there's another story happening in John Wick that we don't know about. It's very behind the scenes. John Wick has his own story happening, but then you have the Continental stuff, the World of Assassins, the coins they use to make deals, and their ties with the church and things like that. So because I remember that review and the guy said that about John Wick, and then I watched that Falcon movie, and I said, no, that Falcon movie, that's still a very enjoyable movie. Don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun watching it. I watched that during the lockdown, by the way. That's what there's nothing to do, so I'm trying to clean up, I'm cleaning up my backlog of video games. Obviously, some of those are already beaten, so don't worry about that. Also going through a backlog of films, and it was on Amazon Prime. And I just said, you know what? Let's give this a try. It should be fun. And I really enjoyed it. But it is just a story about a guy saving kids. And that's a great plot. It's a fun plot. It'd be like, hey, it's a guy doing heroic things, and everyone loves the hero story. But there's nothing outside of that. There's no weird subplots within it. And then here's the thing. Just because it's generic doesn't mean it's bad, because it's not a bad movie. It's simple, it's generic, but it does what it needs to do, and it is fun. They never made a sequel to it, and you can tell they kind of wanted to. There was another movie that did something similar. It was called Skin Trade. Dolph Lundgren was in that one. And Tony Jaa, I think, was in it. I remember seeing that, and they did set that up for a sequel, and then nothing happened. I remember I saw that movie, and the movie ended. I was like, wait, they never resolved his plot. They just didn't. And like I said, they never made the sequel. And again, that's one of those hidden gem action films that kind of just went direct to DVD. It was a good movie. And it's not an action comedy. It is just an action film. It's not cruel. It's not depressing, like I said that movie Sabotage was, because you don't always need that. But having movies that are just straight action without the comedy, I think, need to also start making a comeback, because we are getting a lot of action comedies. Again, I love action comedies. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Bullet Train, Violent Night, Fall Guy, Fight or Flight, pardon me. All of them, so much fun. I saw Violent Night in the cinema too. I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once in the cinema. I saw The Fall Guy in the cinema. I didn't see Bullet Train in the cinema though. That I actually watched with my mom, and she actually really liked it a lot. If that tells you anything, my mom liked that movie. Oh, another movie I watched with my mom, it was called Wrath of Man, starring Jason Statham. That was Guy Ritchie, straight up action film. Action thriller, I'd say. And there's another Jason Statham movie called The Beekeeper and The Working Man. Now, they're not action comedies, but they are still more silly action movies, where Wrath of Man is just straight up an action film. Another good example, this one came out in 2017, it's called Brawl in Cell Block 99. This isn't so much an action movie straight on as much as it is a thriller film with fight scenes. That's another great example.
So I would just really love to see an action film in theaters that is just straight up an action movie. Obviously, have some lighthearted moments in every now and again, just so that way the audience isn't always feeling just down or stressed out. But it doesn't. Not all action films need to be action comedies. I would love a Doom movie, like a really solid Doom movie, where Doom guy is fighting the armies of hell, just straight up one on one. That would be awesome. And also a Quake movie might be good. The Starship Troopers remake or readaptation, which I should still play Ace in. But yeah, a traditional action film. I'd like to see that make a hard comeback too. Anyway, I have one more audition I have to record before I go to bed tonight. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.